I'm Sherrie, I'm the founder and CEO of APOPS, the Association for Pelvic Organ Prolapse Support. As a woman and a mother, I recognize that the most valuable asset we bring to the world is our children. There's no doubt that they're the future. Unfortunately, what often happens with childbearing is damage is sustained to the pelvic floor and to the pelvic organs and tissues. Women typically don't know that they have pelvic organ prolapse until years, more often than not decades, 10, 20, 30 years after they experience the damage, because pelvic organ prolapse isn't talked about. There's little awareness. There is no screening standard in place. The statistical data is all over the page with POP. We have a lot of work ahead of us. Millions of women in the U.S., millions more in countries around the world are suffering in silence with pelvic organ prolapse because they just don't know what the symptoms mean. I'm hopeful that you will consider working with us to help make change, to shift the way the world looks at pelvic organ prolapse. I'm reaching out not just to the women who are experiencing pelvic organ prolapse, but also to those of you in industry, in healthcare, to those of you in research, even though there's not many dollars in research. I'm asking you to please consider a donation to APOPS to help us fund the programs that we have in the pipeline. I recognize that it takes a lot of money to make change, and we can't do it alone. Pelvic organ prolapse is seldom life-threatening, but it's always life-altering. Physically, emotionally, socially, sexually. It impacts women's fitness regimens. It impacts their employment. It pretty much dissects through every layer of our lives. We need help from people to move our agenda forward. And I'm hopeful that you will dig deep into your hearts and deep into your pockets to help us make change.